What's going on, Jason? So I'm here on chapter 4, and I just wanted to put a few aha moments that I think people would can identify with, like saying, like, okay, yeah, I my friends talk about that. Now here we go. So I like the starting sentence where it says on page 31, I want to ask you something. What do your friends like to talk about? Now, before we even go into what I want to put in, we say, do they talk about improving your overall health, or do they talk about going out to drink at a club? Do they talk about their investing their money and their financial goals, or do they laugh about how much debt they have on their credit cards? Now, that to an extent is what they talk about, but here's what I had in mind. Okay, like right after we say, I want to ask you something, what do your friends like to talk about? I wanted to say something like this. Do they mostly, if you were to take notes of your night, mental notes of your night, pay attention to what people are saying. Usually right away they're talking about other people. And this is how they're talking about other people. They're saying things like this. Did you know who is pregnant? Did you know who just purchased a new car? Who has the latest iPhone? Which one of their friends have the latest iPhone? They're either asking you, do you see what that girl is wearing? Like, that's a hideous outfit or something, right? Usually, females are saying that, and guys will say, oh, look at that muscular guy. That guy must work out. Or she is just too skinny. Oh, she thinks she looks good. And we talk about these things, and then, your friends or, it's almost like high school never ends. In high school, how we sit back and everyone makes fun of the other person, and there's a lot of laughter, and we have these cliques, and we have these groups, and it's just like high school never ends, And if you look at your conversations, is that in some groups, if you were to bring up something serious about, I read this book, and this book had something to do with success. Or I read this book, and this book told you how to reduce debt and go from here. If you brought up conversation like that, like self-help conversations, in a lot of circles, people would say, especially if they're out at the bar, out of the restaurant or whatever, they would say, stop talking about that kind of stuff. That's boring. We're here to have fun. And when people say we're here to have fun, usually that fun that they're talking about is other people. Other people. Because a lot of times, people like to talk about other people to make them feel good. Right? It's like we hate the situation we're in, but by us maybe putting out someone else or putting focus on someone else, that helps us to take the problems off our own lives and focus on them. Because it's always easier to try to fix someone else instead of fixing yourself. Right? So Jason, I wanted to put some aha moments in there. I like the part where we talked about, you talked about what I was in school. That's a good part right there. As I'm talking to you, I'm kind of going back through the pages here. I just want to put a lot of emphasis on aha moments, and there's parts in that chapter that are great. Like, let me go right here. So, 1 second here. Well, you talked about me in high school, that was good. It's funny, like when you try to find something. Okay, when I was in school, was another popular guy. I liked that one. Where else we at? Valuable lesson, high school crowd, based on their life. I like all that stuff. On page 32, that's good. They're still bagging groceries. I just want to put this more in the introduction before you start talking about the high school. Just to kind of give people some aha moments to be like, you know what? When I go out to these places, that's exactly what my friends talk about. And maybe even include some of the things that you talk about. Not saying that you guys go around and talk about other people, but maybe there's something that you see on a regular basis that people talk about, And I just wanted to put it in there because I I just want to tell you something, Jason. I was listening to a book that a guy wrote, and he was called in, and the author died, and he had 100 pages, and the guy kept sending him versions of book that he wrote, and they kept throwing him in the garbage can. And then finally, because this guy was a PhD, was writing, finally they said, look, we don't want a PhD manuscript here. We don't want a PhD book. We want a book that looks like you're having a conversation with someone. And I think that our book is doing that. It's very simple, and it's like someone is just basically having a conversation with you. So I think that's going to resonate with people. So yeah, just want to put that in there and tell you that. And other than that, good stuff, man. I'm still going through it. I'm finding things as I'm going, and I think it's going to be good. So take care, man.